Good morning, dear students in grade 9. Welcome to our English seminar for today, which is the first seminar in our revision for your about your course. Well, let me first, at the beginning of this seminar, my dear students, dear colleagues, welcome my dear colleagues in the studio, Mr. Mazen Abdul Karim, an English teacher in Damascus Countryside Directorate, and of course Mr. Karim Qassab, a senior supervisor in the Ministry of Education.
Morning.
Good morning, my dear colleague.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, dear students, as you know, in grade 9, in the first unit of your book, let's say we have a revision of some tenses. We can revise the simple tenses, I mean the simple present and the simple past, and of course the continuous tenses, present continuous or progressive, past continuous, and of course we have two auxiliary verbs in unit 1. We are going to talk about them, used to and would, and how we can use them, the difference between them. Well, let me start directly with Mr. Karim. Of course, he will talk about maybe
the simple tenses.
Yes. So the floor is yours, Mr.
Thank
Karim.
you, Mr. Basil. Actually, we have, simple present, we have simple past, we have present continuous and past continuous, which we are going to talk about. But first of all, let me start with present simple. Present simple is commonly used in our daily life. We always use this because it is very simple really and very important at the same time. So the question is now, why do we use present simple? When do we use a present simple? We use a present simple when we talk about repeated actions. Repeated actions, actions that are repeated always or often repeated. We have some examples about repeated actions. Here we have, we play tennis most weekends. So when we talk about most weekends, it means that we have a repeated action. The action of playing tennis is most weekends. I paint pictures sometimes. The word sometimes is an indicator, is a key to simple present. I paint pictures sometimes, or I sometimes paint pictures. Another example here, Selma usually goes shopping on Fridays. Always or usually, also usually, this word is an indicator or a key to simple present tense. So Selma usually goes shopping on Fridays.
Before we go on, thank you, Mr. Karim. We have a call. Mahmoud, good morning. Good morning, Mahmoud.
I have one question.
Good morning. Your question, please.
What is the difference between past simple and present perfect?
Past simple and present perfect. Okay. After Mr. Karim, of course, Mr. Karim will try to talk about the simple past, but we are not going today to talk about the perfect tenses. But in short, I can answer you. When we use the present perfect, you know the form of the present perfect, right?
Yes.
It is formed with have or has and the past participle or the third form of the verb. For example, when I say I have watched a film, I have studied English, I have finished my breakfast. Okay? So here we use the present perfect to talk about something that happened before now. It is a completed action.
We don't mention.
But of course, time is not important with the present perfect. We don't use a specific time with the present perfect. Here we use the present perfect to talk about achievements, what we have done, what we have achieved.
Finished.
But time is not important with the present perfect, okay? So it is wrong to say, for example, I have visited Karim yesterday. It is wrong here. If you want now to talk about the time when the action happened, if you want to tell me when you did the action, you use the past simple, okay? For example, I have visited London many times. If you want to mention the time, you say I visited London last year. Okay? So here, when you say, I have visited London many times, you are telling me, or you are talking about your achievement, what you have done. But when you use the simple past, it means that you are trying to tell us when the action happened.
Exactly.
Okay?
Okay.
That's it. Thank you very much. Good luck. Good luck, Mahmoud. Okay, let's continue. Thank you, Mr. Karim.
Okay, so we said that it is used for repeated actions. Also, we use it for routine or situation that we see as permanent. Permanent means everlasting, means takes a very, very long time.
Lasting forever.
Exactly.
Yes.
Here we have an example about that. I work at a sports shop. So the verb work is not 1 day or 2 days or 1 month. It is for forever. Yes, we say I work at a sports shop. It's here it is a permanent job. So the work is the job is a permanent here, or is permanent.
Okay.
They live in a very nice flat. The same now, the verb living here is also permanent. Something permanent means something that takes a very, very long time. Also, we talk about, or we use simple present when we talk about thoughts and feelings. Our thoughts and our feelings. So we can't use any other tenses but simple present.
Yeah.
Example, I think you are right. I think you are right. Here, think, I think, this is here, it is called a thought. You are right. Faisal wants a new bike. The verb wants here is a kind of
It is related to thoughts also.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. Thoughts or feelings.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Then we have most children like ice cream. So like
Feeling,
here
yes.
is a feeling. So we can't say most children are liking. It is not correct. It is never. We can never
use it.
Yes,
Yes.
right. Then also we use it for states and facts. State verbs. Verbs which can't be used in a present progressive or a present continuous, and also about facts when we talk about facts. Example, I know Ahmed quite well. I know Ahmed. The verb know is a state verb. It means that it never takes ing. It can never be used with ing.
Yes.
I know Ahmed quite well. We live on a farm in the country.
It is something permanent.
Here it is something
I live
permanent.
on a farm in the countryside.
Exactly. We live on a farm in the countryside.
Yes.
So here it is a permanent
It
action.
is a state.
It is a state, exactly.
Not changing.
No.
When we say a state, we refer to something which doesn't
change.
It is something permanent.
Yes.
Yes.
Latakia lies on the Syrian coast. Latakia lies means is located. Latakia is, yes.
I'm sorry, we have another call.
Okay.
Muhammad from Hama. Good morning, Muhammad.
Good morning, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
And you?
We're fine, thank you. Thank you, Muhammad. Okay, what's your question? Yes, please.
I need to know past perfect.
The past perfect. Okay. Simply, again, as you know, Muhammad, in Unit 1, there is no mentioning at all for the past perfect, but here we can say when we have two actions in the past, one happened before another, simply we use the past perfect to talk about something that happened first or happened earlier before another action. For example, when we say Ali or Muhammad had left his office before we arrived. This is one example. We can say also, by the time we arrived, Muhammad had left his office. It means that Muhammad left before we arrived. So that's it simply. So we use the past perfect to talk about something that happened before something else in the past. It is clear?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Do you have another question?
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Thank
good
you,
luck.
Muhammad. Thank
good
you.
luck. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr.
Okay, Latakia lies on the Syrian coast. Here, this is a fact. Latakia is located or lies on the Syrian coast. It is a state, right? Earth goes round the sun.
Okay.
Earth goes round.
It is something. It is a fact here.
Yes, here we have.
Here we have facts.
Exactly.
Latakia lies on the Syrian coast.
Yes.
It is a fact.
It is also Earth goes.
Tartus also lies on the Syrian coast.
Also Tartus.
So because we have a call from Tartus, Milia, good morning.
Yes.
Milia, good morning. Good morning. Milia,
Where are you, Milia?
good morning.
No, Milia.
Tala, okay, good morning, Tala.
Good morning.
From Damascus, yes, okay.
I want to ask two questions.
Okay, the first one,
My first question is an activity book.
in the activity book, what page?
Page 62.
62. Just a minute. Okay.
Yes. 60.
Exercise number 4.
Exercise 4. Complete the letter with the present perfect simple or present perfect continuous.
And the second question is I want to know we used for paper too much or too many?
Okay, Tala, 62, I think it is in unit 11. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, Tala, it's okay, we can answer you, but as you know, unit 11 is not required in the final exam, okay? If it is unit 11.
No, it is 10.
No,
Unit 10, yes.
If it is unit 10, it is okay.
okay.
Page 60 what?
62.
62.
In the activity book?
Yes.
Okay, 62. Here we are, yes, it is in unit 10. Okay, what exercise, Tala?
4.
4.
Which question?
What about it? To complete the letter with the present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. Do you like, Mr. Karim? Would you like to do it? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Karim, Mr. Mazin will talk to you.
Okay.
Okay, so you know, Tala, that present perfect is subject plus have or has plus the past participle, I mean verb 3. Present perfect continuous, which is subject plus have or has plus been plus verb ing. The first question, the first sentence, I have a wonderful time here on the farm. It means I have had a wonderful time here on the farm. You won't believe how early I have got up. At the end of such busy days, I have fallen asleep quite early too. I must admit.
Okay, the second paragraph now.
Mr. Karim.
Okay.
For the last.
Would you please complete it because
It's okay,
I can't find
Yes.
something.
For the last few days, Uncle Robert, you know, here we have a long period of time, so we have to use present perfect continuous.
Has
Mr. has
yes.
been teaching me
It's okay.
to milk the cow, holding a newborn lamb. Yes, a newborn lamb has been one of my most memorable experiences here on the farm.
Number 6.
Number 6, we have just, you
Come
know,
back.
because we have just
Yes.
present perfect,
Yes.
we have just
Simple.
come, yes,
Yes.
present perfect symbol. We have just come back from a ride across the field. It has been raining for the last few days, and the fields are very wet and muddy. I have just spent a very relaxing hour in a hot bath. Well, you will be pleased to hear that I have changed my mind, you know, because change.
I have changed, yes. I'm talking here about something that happened, finished,
Yes,
completed.
finished. My mind about the countryside, it's boring after all, in fact.
It's not boring
Yes,
after all.
in fact, I think it's the best holiday I have ever had, because, you know, ever
Yes.
with the present perfect symbol.
Okay, Tala.
Okay, thank you.
Tala, I know why you asked about this paragraph. Maybe you don't know the difference between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. Tala, simply, we can say, if we are talking about something that happened, finished, completed, use the present perfect simple. When you feel that the action is not completed yet, I mean, hasn't been completed
going
yet,
on.
it is still going on, we use the present perfect continuous. For example, here we are still here in the seminar and we are explaining present tenses or Unit 1. So here we can say we are explaining tenses, but how long, if you want to say how long, we can say we have been explaining tenses since 9 o'clock or for about an hour or half an hour. That's it. If you want to talk about an achievement, use the present perfect simple. Thank you very much, Kala. Goodbye. We wish you good luck. We have another call. Milia again from Tartus. Good morning, Milia.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay.
I have two questions, please.
The first one?
What's the difference between used to and would?
We're going to talk about it. Just wait, Milia, and we are going to explain about them. What is your next question, please? The second one?
What do we use before boat? Well, we say we went on the boat or in the boat.
We went on the boat, or we went on the boat,
Or in the boat.
or we went in the boat. We can use on here, on the bus.
Of course.
It's okay. I think both can be used, but here it depends on the speaker himself. We usually use on the boat. We went on the boat.
In page 90 in student book, number 4.
Student's book,
Page, which
90.
page?
page 4,
90.
page 19.
90.
90. Oh, the last one?
No, it is not.
90. 19.
19.
Yes.
Amelia. Okay. That's okay.
Which question?
4.
4, what's about?
Exercise 4. Telling a story.
Yes, number 2, they went out in a small fishing boat.
Okay, page 19. Here we are. We can use the laptop if you like. Exercise what?
4.
4.
4. Here we are telling a story.
Yes, the
Right?
second sentence.
Yes.
Telling a story. Turn these notes
actually, it
into a
depends.
story. Add detail. When you have to use when or where or what or how.
No, she's asking about the sentence number 2.
Number
Which
2
one?
here.
They went out in a
went
small
out
fishing
in a
boat.
small-
Yes.
Yes, okay, I told you, we can use both, Milia. We can use both. We can use on, we can use in. It's okay. I told you that.
Thanks.
Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yes, let's go on. So we talked about facts, that facts is used with present simple. Goes, or earth goes
Yes.
around the sun. Now we come also to...
We have another call, Mr. Karim. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
okay.
Ahmad from Damascus. Good morning, Ahmad.
Morning, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you. You're fine, thank you. Your question, please.
Mister, we have to write one or two paragraph in the exam.
One paragraph or two? It depends on your composition. You are going to write just one composition, of course. You know that in the final exam, you have to choose to write on one of two topics. You are given two topics, okay, Ahmad, and you have to choose one of them. That's it. When you choose one of them and you want to write about it, you can write a composition which contains one paragraph, and you can write a composition which contains two paragraphs. It depends on you. Okay, Ahmad?
Yes, mister.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Okay. Goodbye. Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Basil, a lot of students.
We have another call. Layal from Damascus. Good morning, Layal.
Good morning.
How are you?
I want to ask you about the lesson we have to study after delete.
I'm sorry? The lesson?
You have to study what?
After delete.
The lesson you have to study after...
Delete.
After what?
Please raise your voice.
Raise your voice. I can't understand you. After what?
After delete.
You mean what is required from you for the final exam?
Yes.
We told you, the ministry, I think, announced everything
Online.
online and on
On TV
on
also.
its page, formal page, and on TV. Dayal, everything that was not taken at school is not required from you. So here, what is required from you is the first 10 units in both books. I mean, from Unit 1 to Unit 10, okay? Till the end of Unit 10, and in the student's book and in the activity book. So everything which is mentioned in Unit 11 and in Unit 12 is not required. Clear?
Okay.
Okay, goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Mr. Russell, a lot of students.
Mire from Damascus. Yes, Mr.
Good
Karim.
morning, teacher.
Good morning. Good morning.
Can I ask a question?
Why not? Of course you can.
If we have four, for example, for a week,
Okay.
in a choosing question, we use present perfect continuous or present perfect?
We can use both.
It depends on the sentence.
We can use both. I can say, I have lived in Damascus for 5 years, and I can say, I have been living in Damascus for 5 years. So you can use both. Of course, such a sentence cannot be given in the final exam because we cannot give you two choices and both of them are accepted. We give you just one choice which is accepted, and the second choice is wrong, of course. Okay?
Teacher, in page 62.
Page?
62.
In the activity book or
Activity.
in the activity book?
62 in a
Page
Exercise 4.
Yes.
exercise for...
We have already.
Yes, yes, we have already done it. Here we are, yes.
For the last few days,
For the last few days. Where is it? What number? What number? Number 4. Good. Here, Uncle Robert has taught me to milk the cows. If the speaker for the last few days, okay, Uncle Robert, if we say has taught me to milk the cows, of course here it means that the action is completed and finished, and now he has taught me how to milk the cows. Now I know how to milk the cows. But if we use has been teaching me, it means that he is still teaching me. We have not finished yet, or he has not finished yet. He is still teaching me. So both can be accepted with 4, but it depends on the meaning now. Let's go back to the meaning. If for the last few days Uncle Robert has taught me to milk the cows, holding a newborn lamb has been one of my most memorable experience. So here it means that the speaker means that everything is completed and he knows now how to milk the cows. So I think it is better here to use, as Mr. Mazin said, the present perfect simple. Okay?
Thank you very much.
But of course, if this sentence is separated from the text, we can use the present perfect continuous. It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
I mean,
Muhammad again. We have another call. Muhammad from Hama. Muhammad, good morning.
Good morning.
A lot of calls. Yes, please. Your question.
In activity book,
What page?
26.
26. Okay.
Yes, your question?
Your question.
4.
exercise 4, yes,
Complete the sentence.
with any sum, many, or
7.
Exercise 4. Here we are. We can use the laptop.
Sentence
Okay.
number 7.
Number 7. The
Yes.
laptop,
Yes,
please.
yes.
Thank you. Okay, Mr.
Yes.
Mazin, please.
Yes, here, Muhammad, we have hardly any plants hardly any plants are able to survive in the icy Antarctic. So here it gives the negative meaning. So we use any for this sentence.
We cannot say
We
hardly
don't have
something.
not.
Huh?
We don't have not. It's
okay.
Okay, there is no. I'm telling you, Muhammad, hardly.
The word hardly.
Gives the meaning
Give
of
the
meaning
negative.
of negative.
Yes.
Okay.
Muhammad,
Okay.
can you hear me? What is it? When I say I rarely see or meet Muhammad, what does it mean? It means that I don't see him a lot, okay? I rarely meet him. I hardly meet him. Another word. Hardly means I don't meet him a lot. Okay? Hamad.
Okay.
So the word hardly gives us a negative meaning. It refers to something negative. So here we have to use any.
We can use enough.
No, 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 no,
Hardly
no.
enough plants are able to survive in the icy Antarctic. Hardly enough plants are able. We can. Why not?
No, no, I don't think so. Mr. Basil.
Hardly any plants
no,
are
hardly
able. It
any.
is better, of
Just
course.
any.
Hardly any plants are able to survive in the
Because
icy Antarctic.
When we say
So
hardly
use-
enough,
Yes.
hardly enough. Enough
Yes.
of what? For what?
Let's
So
go
we
back to the
can't-
rubric,
Yes.
Muhammad.
Yeah.
Here, the rubric, you have to choose between any, some, many, or all. We don't have enough at all.
No? Yes.
Right? In the choices, I mean. In the choices at the top. You have to choose between 4 words. Any, some, many, all. Okay? Hardly any plants are able to survive.
Yes, exactly.
Why any plants? Because here we are talking about the icy Antarctic.
Yes,
So,
yes.
can plants survive
No, no,
in the
no.
icy Antarctic? Near the North Pole, for example? Or the South Pole, sorry. It is in the South Pole.
No.
No, of course not. Because the temperature there is
Low.
Very low.
freezing.
Yes.
Yes.
freezing.
So
I have another question.
your
Yes,
second
please.
question, please.
The paragraph is in the book or out of it?
Okay, Muhammad, you are talking about the text,
No,
right?
the paragraph, writing.
Paragraph, writing or the reading?
Writing.
Writing, you know that the composition is from your book. Nothing is from which, I mean, if we don't give you a composition which is not mentioned in your course. Everything is from your course, okay?
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Okay,
Thank you
goodbye.
very much.
So, Mr. Basil, a lot of students have asked me that is there any change in the sample of the exam for baccalaureate and the 9th grade? So,
No, no.
In the
there is-
9th grade.
9th grade and baccalaureate, is there any changes?
No change
no
at
change,
all.
no
And
change.
maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow, we will try to announce or the form or the forum of the exam. You know, this, all the students
Yes.
know the final exam and the forum or the form of the form of the
The exam
final
paper. Yeah, the exam
No
paper.
change
No
at
ch-
all
no,
in
no.
grade 9 and no change
In the baccalaureate
in
also.
grade 12
Yes,
at all.
yes.
Okay, thank you very
You
much.
know the form.
Yes. Now let's continue, Mr. Basil, because time is passing quickly. Now we talk about the form of present simple. What is the form of present simple?
Okay.
So the form is, we use, as you know, we have the same form as the infinitive or zero form. If the subject is a third person singular, he or she or it, we add s or es. So here we say, when I say I like, this is simple present. But when I use he or she, we say he likes or she likes or it likes. The same as for I go, we say she goes or he goes. I carry or we carry or they carry or you carry, we in the third person singular we say she or he carries. Also we use now the auxiliary verbs which are used with the present simple are do and don't. So we have do for questions and don't for negatives. So we say we use do and don't in negatives and the questions with the pronouns I, you, they, we.
Good.
We don't play tennis in winter. Here we have a negative sentence. We use don't followed by the infinitive, the verb in the infinitive form, zero form. We don't play tennis in winter. Do you play tennis? Here we have a question because we have do in the beginning of the sentence. Then for he, she, it, we use does and doesn't. Does for questions and doesn't for negative. So we use does and doesn't with the third person singular, he, she, it. Examples, he doesn't want any help. Also, we have the verb want in the infinitive, in the zero form, after the verb, the auxiliary verb doesn't. So he doesn't want to help. What does he want? This is a question. So with the questions, we must use the auxiliary verb.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Mazen, Mr. Karim, I think everything now is clear about the simple tenses, present simple and past
No,
simple.
we have just talked about the present simple, but because the time is going
After that,
now,
we can
yes,
talk about
we
it.
can talk about that.
Sorry, we have just given everything about the present simple. not
Yes,
present
exactly.
continuous.
Yes, present
And now
simple.
Mr. Karim is going to talk about the present continuous, please.
Okay, present continuous, we use it for something that is happening now at the time of speaking. Ali is enjoying his holiday in London. So Ali is now in London and he is enjoying his holiday. I'm making you a cup of tea, Mom. So it means, what are you doing, Mom? I'm making you a cup of tea. Alia and Tariq are studying at the moment. So now, at present, they are studying. The continuous, present continuous. We use it for something happening about this time, but not necessarily at the time of speaking. He is studying at Damascus University this year. Now we are talking about a short period at this time. He is studying. I'm working at Sport Shop this month. Present continuous. We use it for the near future. Okay, it can be used to express near future. Example, I'm visiting Ruba today in the afternoon. It means in the near future, I'm visiting Ruba. My relatives from France are coming to visit us in July. Now we are going to talk about the form. The present continuous is formed with subject plus be. Be, I mean, am, is, or are, plus ing form. Okay, that's all about the
Now,
present continuous.
Before we go on to talk about past tenses, we have a call. Ahmad from Damascus, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
We're fine, thank you, Ahmad. Okay, what's your question?
In activity book,
What page?
on page 26,
26. Okay,
exercise 3,
Okay, what's
just a minute.
number 7 and 11.
Exercise 3. Here we are. We can use the laptop. Thank you. The laptop is ready. Okay, number 3 and number 4.
7 and number 8.
3, 4, 7 and 8.
7 and 8,
Exercise 3.
Exercise 3. Number
Number 7 and 11.
7 and 11. Okay, Mr. Mazen, please.
yes. The question, Ahmed, is about using a or that or nothing. You know that a, it is used for a singular countable noun. For example, a book, which means one book. Whereas we use the for singular and plural, but when the noun is
Something different.
definite. Yeah,
Yes.
you know, the speaker and the listener, they know about it.
Yes.
Number 7, that's from the beginning. For many centuries, Ahmed, I'm reading from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yes, yes. From the beginning of the sentence. For many centuries, Damascus was the trade center for the whole region, and today it is a popular tourist destination. You
So
know?
here it is a popular.
Yeah, because the
tourist
first time you
destination.
mentioned.
Of course, because here the first time, and it is one of many other destinations. You see, so we have to use a here, not the.
Yes.
Yes, please.
And a favorite location for foreigners wanting to learn Arabic. Also, it is
It is the same.
the same.
One of many
After
favorite
and,
locations.
yes.
Yes.
Number 11, you can ask any any of the local
questions.
Yes, here we have
Any of the locals.
Yes, any of the because
I
we
mean
have
the people of Damascus.
yes, because
So
we are
here-
definite.
Yes, they are known because
Yes.
we are talking about the people of Damascus, not any people.
Yes.
We are talking about something in specific. Okay, Ahmad?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Let's
now
go
move,
back
okay, to
now
past simple, right? So we talked about present and simple
Yes.
present. Now we come to past simple. We use the past simple to talk about finished events in the past. To talk about finished events, the events that happened and finished in the past. Example, he moved to Canada when he was 5. He moved to Canada. The action of moving is over, happened in the past. We played basketball yesterday. So here also yesterday, we talked about played basketball yesterday. I passed the exam last year. I passed the exam. Here we have last year. It means that we have simple past. I told you 5 minutes ago. The word ago is also for simple past. Also, we use now for questions and negatives, we use did in negatives and in questions. Did and didn't actually. Negatives, we did not win the game. We did not win the game. This is for the negative. We use did not plus the verb in the zero form, in the infinitive. The questions, where did you stay? Where did you stay? This is about simple questions in simple past. Thank you.
Past
Yes,
continuous.
yes. Let's talk now about past continuous, past progressive. We use it to talk about something that was in progress or to say that we were in the middle of an action. Example, Nasser was riding his bike when he fell off. So the long verb, which is riding, and then something happened in the middle, which is the the falling of
He fell off when
Yes.
he was riding his
so,
bike.
yes.
At the time or during the
Time of
riding
riding,
his bike.
yes.
Yes.
Number 2, while I was shopping in the market, I met my friend. Also the same. We were going to school when it rained. During the period of going, it rained.
Means what were you doing when
Yes.
it rained?
I was going to school.
I was sleeping, I
Yes.
was shopping,
Yes.
etc.
Also, we use the past continuous and simple together when shorter action interrupted longer one came in the middle. For interruption, I fell asleep while I was watching television. The phone rang while my mom was making lunch. The past continuous form, it's formed with subject, plus was or were, plus ing form. Example, I was playing, he was playing, we were playing.
Now, what about used to and would?
Yes. Now we are going to talk about used to and would be, and one of the, the caller asked about this.
Yes.
I hope they are with us. We used used to or didn't use to infinitive to talk about the state or repeated action in the past. So the student should know that we use used to talk about something happened in the past, and now it has nothing to do with the present. I used to want to be a doctor, but now I want to be a teacher. So in the past, I wanted to be a doctor, but now I want to be a teacher. We used to go on holiday every summer. In the past, we used to go, but now
It is a repeated
action in the past.
What about would?
Would. We use, actually would is less common in English, so a lot of people use used to. But formal English, they use would. We use would plus infinitive to talk about repeated habits in the past, not states. So the student should know that state. For example, live, verb to be. Every afternoon, my friends and I would talk for hours on the phone. So here we have talk, which is not state verb. After dinner, grandfather would sit and tell us old stories from long ago.
So, in short,
yes,
Mr.
please.
Mazen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let us make it very clear to the students.
Yes.
When we have used to and would, dear students, the difference between them is that we use used to before state verbs and before action verbs. We can say, I used to live in the mountains when I was in Latakia. Okay? And we can use
When I was in Latakia, I would leave, etc. So and so.
no, not would here. We
Yes.
use would before action verbs. I mean, we use used to before state verbs. So live here is a state action
Yes.
or a permanent situation. We can use also, we used to play tennis on Fridays
Yes.
when we were students at school. So used to can be used before state verbs
And
can be
action
used
verbs.
before action
Yes.
verbs. Now, what about would? Would can't be used before
Just
state
with
verbs. It is
action.
only used before action verbs. We can say, when we were in Latakia, we would go to the shore
Yes.
every day.
We would
That's it.
swim,
We would
we would
swim,
visit our
we would
friends.
beach.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's it. So we hope, dear students, that the most grammatical skills in Unit 1 is clear now. Of course, in our next seminar, we are going to talk about Unit 2 and Unit 3. Of course, we have texts in Unit 1. You have to read the texts to understand the new vocabulary in the text, to discuss the ideas, the main ideas of each text. But, of course, you have to have good grammatical skills when we deal with English. I think, is time over? Is time over? Do we have time or not? No time. Okay. Okay, thank you. What do you, because we have 2 minutes,
Yes.
Mr. Mazen, in one sentence,
Yes.
please, a piece of advice for the students, from you and from Mr. Karim, please.
Yes. Actually, I advise the student in the 9th grade to study hard and to focus on the tenses, because they are the key to understand other grammar in the book.
Grammatical skills.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, I advise our students to relax, to eat well, to sleep well, to study well, okay, and be relaxed. Don't worry about the exam. Don't be afraid of the exam. It is very simple. Just read, study quietly,
Thank you
and
very-
that's all.
Thank you very much. So, dear students, I'd like to remind you at the end of this seminar that there is no change at all in the form of the final exam in grade 9 as well as
Baccalaureate.
the baccalaureate or in grade 12. No change at all. And I'd like to remind you that everything that you have taken at schools is required. If there is nothing, if there is something which is not taken at school, it is not required in the final exam. At the end of this seminar, let me thank my dear colleagues, Mazen Abdul Karim, an English teacher in Damascus Countryside Directorate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Karim Qassab, a senior supervisor in the Ministry of Education. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Till
very
we meet, dear students, in other seminars, we wish you all the best. Goodbye. Thank you.